believe me, I love all the models. I love the Reno racers. I love the train set. I love every part of what happens in this event. But there's one thing that we enjoy more than anything. That is pulling these very friendly scams on people. Now, over the years, we have pulled some really good scams on people. You're right. You might remember, if you're a subscriber, that Bob Zambelli, unfortunately, in the course of testing his Sato 80 out, crashed the Red Baron, and it was in a gazillion pieces. Well, recently, past winter, we were over at his house, and our good friend, Warren Walker, is building his version of the Red Baron. And he was asking us for some documentation. So what we did, actually, when I look back at the video, it's hilarious. What we did is we took what was left of the Red Baron, put it in a very small box with no return address label, and sent it to him. Now, we haven't gotten a response that we can print yet, but he took it very well. But here's a little bit of the footage from when we were at Bob's house and how we arrived at this little scam, one of many that we've pulled over the years.
Up there too. Oh yeah, very early picture of, this is the one with, you probably saw this picture. This is Dale Berry's son, Derek.
Really?
When Red Baron was new?
Yeah.
Oh, look how young he is.
Look how young. Oh my God.
At the Marietta.
Yes, that's right.
You remember that?
I remember that.
You have no idea. Everybody who said, I remember that plane must have really, really made an impact.
This will make you happy. Warren Walker's building one.
No kidding.
He had me send them all the pictures and everything. He's building. Here's the thing. He's got a piece of the real Red Baron. He knows the guy who has it.
Airplane, no kidding.
And he's having a piece of tip weight made up from a piece of
Real airplane.
the aluminum or whatever.
That was
he lives where we were by his house in Ontario is only like 20 miles away, and that's where some of the pieces that are left from the Red Baron are.
No kidding.
He's making parts for Warbirds.
In that crash, did he get out?
No, he got out.
That was the 11th?
He got. No. That was
Miss Ashley.
Steve Hinton.
Yeah, okay. The 11th.
Gary Lovitz got killed in Miss Ashley. Yeah. He got squashed.
Did you see this card that Al sent me? Two cardinals talking. It says, I'm designing a model airplane. I call it the Windy.
Who sent you this?
Al Knight. Cool. What's a Windy?
Cool. What's a Windy?
So funny.
You know what's going to do? I'm going to make.
You're going to put this in stunt news.
I'm going to make you a color copy of that. And
That is adorable.
No, you know what you do? Just send it to Tom Morris, then he will know I'm in on it.
do it for yourself.
You said you had an engine collection. Who knew it would be like this?
Well, people are shocked when they see how many dolls you have.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's more of an accumulation. I have stuff. Over there is what I call the orphanage, because I don't know what they are.
The orphanage.
This escape from the orphanage, nobody knows what it is. Look at it. Is that weird looking? It's got exhaust ports on 4 sides. Doesn't it look like something a kid made as a shop project?
Yeah. Looks like something I'd make with a Dremel tool.
Yeah, exactly. Look, doesn't it look like it's all been ground out with a Dremel?
Somebody tried to make the engine lighter, it looks
I think you're right. They probably took a good engine and just butchered it to make it.
I've done that in my lifetime. Bob, this is an amazing Tour de France here. Unbelievable. There's just no end to it. Every time you go around a corner, there's something new to see.
It's stuff, but sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. But little by little, I'll whittle it down to something more realistic. I don't know.
You know what the shame is with having this much of a collection is you need a place to display it.
Exactly.
You really need your own private museum or something.
Well, that's why a lot of stuff in John's museum is going. I'm going to donate it to the museum. I'll just put it on loan, one or the other.
Yeah, have a rotating. Every year bring them 10 and 20 or 100 or something.
I figure if I'm not going to use them, I'd rather have these somewhere where people can see them and enjoy them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, a whole bunch of these, make nice display stands. We're going to put them under glass and everything.
If you just had this room, if you could fly this out with a helicopter, this is a display room of its own. All of these things, this is an amazing collection.
Thank you.
I mean, I know the AMA has more, but they have an unlimited budget. They're cheating.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a privately owned collection, so just when you think you've seen it all,
More stuff.
another Zetron pops out of the closet. I don't know.
Where's
Uh-oh. I don't even want to know what's in this bag. Oh, my God.
The Red Baron?
I know a guy named 72618.
618, that's your number.
That's my number.
I will not throw away the first.
Oh,
To the Red Baron.
oh, my God. You know what we could do with this? We could, can you get this into a box and mail it to Warren Walker?
Sure,
Can we, do you have a box big enough?
sure.
Oh, my God. Don't say a word, don't put a note in it or
This is
anything.
exactly as we scraped it off the pavement.
Mail it out to him.
my
Oh,
God,
that
you
is
will
fat.
flip
Did
out.
that hit?
Do you have a box? Oh, I got it on, we'll mail him the video. Oh,
Oh, that's right, I
I'll mail him, I got it on video. You got a box big enough?
You want me,
Oh.
tell you what, email me his address,
I'll give you the address.
and I'll
And have it shipped from, let's see, who can we ship it from?
we're gonna pay the...
Wait, who's the,
Zambelli Restorations.
no, who's the pilot from the Red Baron?
No, he knows that, Steve Hinton. He knows Steve Hinton. Oh, we're going up, go ahead, Karen. We're going up into dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Now, you thought this was gonna be a boring trip, right, Karen?
I never thought.
Little did you know you'd see the Black Baron in a bag.
This is the informant.
This is what I'm gonna finish into. This was identical, only the B-25 was gonna retract
Okay.
over that.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Same principle.
We saw this at our dinner.
Yeah, let's,
Pretty neat stuff.
you can see the tail wheel function. And I can, since it's proportional, I can control the speed.
You know, with the camera, you can see the emitters.
You're kidding? Oh,
I can see the emitters emitting the signal.
I'll be darned.
On a camera, I can see it,
Oh, it
yeah.
picks up the lower frequency,
Yeah.
higher frequency.
Yes, yes.
The battery box is in here, so it acts as...
functions typically.
There you go. This is my charging jack for now. This is right out of Z-Tron. I'm going to recess a little bit more. But what I wanted to do was be able to show...
Sergio gave me a quick charger, too. If you want to do it right at the field, you can do it right off your car bat with a cigarette lighter.
No kidding. Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
so you don't need a spare battery unless you're going to flight after flight after flight after flight.
What I want to do...
What do you need, a knife?
I just need I want to show you the weight of just the right size it should be. I may have grabbed one.
You need 440?
Yeah, I need a 440 size and a small standard screwdriver.
This may have some epoxy. It's all epoxy. Every tool in the shop has epoxy on it.
In fact, I'm going to extend the gears so it'll make it a little bit...
I think that's cool. Is that nice, Frank, or what? And I think what you should do is fly around inverted and just keep making the gear go up and down until the battery goes dead.
That's clever.
That's the torque rod that goes out to the, to take the thing apart. First thing you have to do is find
You notice I work in a big shop.
a low ceiling.
Hey, we'll make a man out of you yet.
I'll tell you.
I think you're gonna need a 91 in here. I'd start loosening those clamps up right now.
But you know, the thing is light though. Yeah, if you hold it up, perfect.
Is that a scale nose length?
Virtually everything is scale in this. This thing is so close to scale, it's unbelievable.
Okay. Anyway, that was a couple little excerpts from the little scam we pulled on Warren Walker and the day Frank Finelli was here. And we were putting the final touches on what became the Z-Tron article that appeared in Flying Models. Anyway, if you want to see more of Bob Zambelli's 1,000-plus engine collection, Ferrari, workshop, garage, and soon-to-be train layout, we have that whole trip comprises almost a full tape, and it's a lot of fun. Now back to Brodak's, back to the action at hand.
Saturday evening, we're getting ready to present Andy Adamowski with a plaque where he's been inducted into the AMA Hall of Fame. Everyone's gathering around. Rich Peabody's helping me. I don't think Wendy knows about his cake yet. Trying to get a little film footage of story, huh? Alright. Oh, that's cool looking. Congratulations, Randy. I got the lid off. I get the first piece. Nice to cut, huh? Thanks, Ray.
The fun thing that we do is many times only appreciated by the people within our own hobbies, and a lot of times it takes a lot of work for many of us to get recognition from newspapers and TV, and we're starting to get some of that. But when someone has done a lot of good for the hobby for a long period of time, and AMA recognizes those particular individuals with the Hall of Fame Award. And we have a presentation tonight, and I'm just going to hand over the microphone first of all to Big Art, and then he'll go on with the rest of it. Art, come forward, please.
Thank you, Alan. You know, this is deja vu for me. A couple of years ago, I was standing about where our prospective Hall of Fame members standing and wondering, what have they gotten me into? Well, the gentleman, when he found out he had made the Hall, he said, Art, I would like to have you to be one of the presenters. And to say that that's an honor is not saying enough. I've known this man for an awful lot of years, and I've watched him grow in stature to the point where he's a pretty good guy. I like him. We like him. And I was asked one time by a young man, what do you have to do to get into the Hall? That was when they put me in the Hall of Fame in Tampa. And I said to him, I think you have to get old.
Gray hair.
That sounded great, but it was a pretty dumb answer. And then when I came here, and after I was presented with the Hall, he asked me that again. I said, I have a better answer for you. Now, the man that's going to be presented tonight, or today, I feel has done all these things about as good as anybody that I can think of. And when I seen his name come, and his nomination pamphlet in the envelope, I happen to be one of the voters that say yea or nay. I smiled a lot and I read very carefully, because when you get 50 or 60 nominations, you read them all and you put a maybe and I'll think later, and then you have to keep going back and forth through them. And the answer that I gave to this young man, as I said, that I think a better answer than getting old is that after you've been in this sport as long as we have, and I look out in the crowd and I see all these friends, because everybody here is a friend. You form relationships and you form friendships that are not forgotten. You can go anywhere in this country and they will know your name if you're in trouble. You make a phone call, somebody will help you. Well, here's a man that I feel has done an awful lot besides having his van so full of stuff at the mats that when you run into trouble, if he doesn't have it, you don't need it or it hasn't been invented. That's Lindy's van. We had trouble one year at the mats and didn't know that he had found out about it. Next morning at breakfast, he walked by our table and he threw a bunch of stuff on the table. He said, try that. We had never mentioned to him trouble or anything, but this is him. So it's getting to the point where I say that there are three things that I think are important besides winning first place at the Nats every year, winning the world. There are other things that are important. And Wendy has done them. Wendy, you've done an awful lot to these people. Did he?
You've done an awful lot with these people. And dear friend, thank you for asking me to do this for you, because you've done an awful lot for me and for these people. Here's the guy I've been talking about. Come in. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. I'm not sure that everybody here can hear me. I usually don't need a microphone. This is a unique thing. As I never prepare any speech ahead of time because then it's fake. So I always feel if I just make it up.
You left this piece of paper over there.
Thank you. Okay. Mary, I'll pay you later. I want to tell you a few things about the Windy that you probably may not know, because we don't write about these kind of things all the time, but there are a couple of funny things I think all of us can relate to. When I was about 7 years old, I rode my little bicycle, went past a little firehouse where they were flying half-A scientific planes, the firemen in our area, and I was mesmerized. And I went in, got to be friends with the men, and eventually they gave me some of their broken planes that didn't fly anymore. And they said, go home and fix these, kid, and if you fix them, we'll teach you how to fly. Well, little did they know I was the crash repair king. I came back with my bicycle and 3 or 4. I got to fix everybody in the firehouse's planes for about 4 years. And they were gracious enough to give me the basics, how to fly, hold my hand, teach me different things. But the thing they taught me is how to be a friend, because I got to be friends with every one of these people that flew planes. They invited me to their homes. I invited them to my home. My mother was happy that I wasn't in jail. Most of the time. But that little kid, that 7-year-old kid is still inside of me, and he still gets up in the morning, and what he wants to do is fly model planes. Now, Rich Jacobone and I get up very early in the morning, we get to the field, and we run out our lines, and it's just like being 7 years old again. And I sensed that the other day when Derek Berry flew the sweeper, there was a little bit of that 7-year-old boy in his eyes, something that you never forget. And I remember the first time I ever flew a 35-size smoothie that a guy had given me, and I fixed and put it all together with duct tape and glue and pins and staples. And when I flew it and did the first loop, it was like an amazing, amazing feeling that I still get every time I come to the field, and every time I launch a plane or see a plane or see the triplane crash or see something amazing. There's something amazing that happens. Now that little 7-year-old boy who is still inside of me, here we are 52 years later, 53, Kevin? 52? 52 years later, they've decided to make me one of the members of the Hall of Fame, and I'm extremely honored. But in between that time, I've had the most amazing life a person could ever have, the most fun, the most friends, the most interactions. I've had people from all over the world stay at my house. I've been all over the world. I've got to see the world. I've got to know people from all over the world. And it's just been an amazing, amazing life to me. I wouldn't trade it to be Bill Gates. Maybe his son, maybe his nephew, maybe Karen would. But there's one other amazing event in my life. Now, all my life I had loved planes, and I had put those pieces of the puzzle together, and I needed one other piece of the puzzle to make it a complete package. And in 1990, I met my wife, Karen. And she said to me, I'm going to clean you up. I'm going to show you how to dress. And she showed me what soap was. And to this day, Every morning when I get up, she lays out my clothes, makes my socks match my belt, and my toenails match, and takes me for pedicures and things. And I think that was the part of the puzzle I'd never have figured out on my own. I might have built great planes, but I'd still look like that Wendy that you saw in Slumbers about 4 issues ago, with the pajamas on and things. So, with the life that I've been able to have with the friends, and I count every single person here, I've also had the extreme good fortune of having good mentors like Big Jim Greenaway, George Aldrich, Art Adamson, people that I've looked up to, Dub Jet, Rich Oliver, people that have helped me understand the parts of the hobby that I needed to understand. And as if all of this wasn't enough amazing things and an amazing life, there's one final amazing thing. I met John Brodak and his wife Buzz. And I sensed somewhere inside of John there's a 7-year-old boy. I was videotaping him today, and I was thinking that little boy is still in there, and he still hears those half-A engines, and there's something about that that's magic. And I have one final goal. Being in the Hall of Fame is really a tremendous honor. I can't express my thanks to Charles Mackey, who I've never actually met. I've never actually spoken to him on the phone, in fact, who was one of the people that nominated me, and Fred Bacco, who I have met but was unable to be here, so we will obviously copy him on I'll give him a discount on the video. We'll get it. How does that work, anyway? But anyway, the thing I want to thank John for is that 7-year-old boy, if there wasn't a sport, or if the sport died out, maybe that 7-year-old boy wouldn't have had the life that I had. And thanks to John and Buzz, and thanks to every person here, we still have that life of the 7-year-old boy. And we're still out there when Danny fires up the flight streak, or Barry flies the sweep, or Doug Moon flies his plane, or Bob Gieske puffs on a pipe. It's that same 7-year-old boy. And I think that's what makes it special and makes us all friends. And I hope my final goal would be, if I had anything to do, is to see that someday the AMA will hopefully recognize John Brodak's contribution to the world that we all enjoy. Thank you very much for everybody sharing this moment with me.
Wendy, when I stand here and look around, I don't think you're the only 7-year-old here.
I'm not the only 59-year-old.
Going back, there's 2 of us up here right now. Wendy, on behalf of the Academy of Modeling Athletics, I would like to offer you the Hall of Fame Award for all your service to air modeling and to your various contributions to those that needed it. I thank you very much.
It's so fun. It's so good. Go back.
Now, while we're all, George, can you please hold up? While we're all standing here, what I'd like as many people as possible to do, if you could. My wife was a fanatic about this. If I could record how this really happened, she was insistent that I wear a clean shirt tonight. She says, please, she had 3 choices of shirts in the van, and I picked my B25 shirt. I could have picked my A25 shirt, but I don't know. Took this one. I'd like as many people as possible, if they could sign this before we leave this weekend. I'm going to leave this shirt up here. Just sign it so I can remember each and every one of you someday when I retire and I become
Well, I'm never gonna be too old for see, that's it.
You gotta wash it first.
No, I'm not gonna wash it. This will be, I have a couple of special shirts. I have a Real Miss Ashley shirt that was flown, that was part of the crew of the Real Miss Ashley when Gary Roberts got killed. I got one of the shirts as a memento, I don't know if that's the right word. And we've treasured that forever. But I would like to have a shirt. I know Art has them, because my name's on a lot of them. And I would really appreciate anybody that would take a moment of time to sign it. We also have, and I want to just preface this, I hope I'm not, you do it, Jack, go right through my... There's another little short ceremony that we need to have, and I'm going to take the burden away from Chip Smith. Now, I know a lot of people in the audience know that this is going to happen. Chip was kind of, I don't know if he's camera shy or what, but maybe I can steal the burden from him, or Jimmy Borelli and I can. Maybe Jimmy Borelli would come up here right now. Where is Jimmy? Where is Chip? I know, Chip's trying to stay out of the limelight. But I know Jimmy's a movie star, so he'll take over from here. Thank you, Wendy. In 1991, we were at the Garden State Huckleberry Contest, Joe Ortiz and myself. And we met this gentleman who brought out this old tattered plane, and it had an old clunky engine that wouldn't start. So Joe and I went over and helped him out, and we got it started. And Joe took me on the side and said, "You know, this guy used to be a national champion?" I says, "Come on." He says, "Oh, yeah, he really did." Well, from that day on, we got to know this gentleman pretty well. And he's a pretty funny and congenial guy. And it's 13 years later. We've had a lot of laughs with him. We've told stories together. We've cried together. We've had many meals together. And it shows. Especially Bobby's. And actually, through the efforts of Chip Smith and Ken Tizer, the trophy that he was presented in 1969 and unfortunately was lost, well, they were nice enough to get a reproduction of that exact same 1969 trophy. Bobby? Bobby, it's my pleasure and honor to present this to you. And you deserve it.
I think I might be a lost for words.
Could you imagine me a loss of words? I don't know what, I mean, I'm just blown away. It's, I know how Wendy feels, I probably feel a lot bigger than he does right now. Don't rub it in, I'm going on a South Beach diet, don't worry.
Guys, I want to thank you very much. I tell you, just like Wendy, I guess I started airplanes when I was 8, and I didn't know any firemen. I mean, we used to live in Brooklyn, you know. What do you do in Brooklyn? You hang out in corners. I used to take my little old 49 engine, go down and just start it in the store, and it used to echo. The whole neighborhood knew I was starting engines, and that was it. I didn't fly for at least 4 or 5 years. But that little Wasp 49 was a wonderful little thing, and it kept me going. And believe it or not, Wendy, you know, I used to build heavy scientific models even then, but they did shine. No, that was a special issue later on. That's a story. You know, we built I guess just before I had a bad time in my life and had to drop out of the hobby in '73. The 72 Nats was the last Nats I was at with Art. And I had this airplane, which virtually was the lightest airplane I ever built. It was called a Pisces. That's when I'm a March kid, so that was easy to do. And it was probably the best flying airplane I'd had in a long time. And the problem is, in making it so light, everything flexed. So Art said, you know your tail when you're up in the air goes like this. I said, well, that's a special one gear we put in there. It's a new aerodynamic thing. And he walked away, he said, you guys got to see Slim already designed this. He couldn't actually believe that. I'm like, wow. But it was fun, and we've had great times and great fun ever since. And I could stay here and talk all night, but I'm going to turn the mic back to somebody. I don't know.
There you go.
I would like, please.
Twice before, I was the last one to know, and it happened again. I knew there was a Bob getting the trophy, but I didn't know it was you. He won the Nats in 1969. So did my son Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis won senior and he won open. And Johnny Clemens came up to me. He said, I'd like to have you or Dennis and Bob Lampione fly the stunt pattern to the air show on Sunday. I said, sure. So Bob found out about it, so Bob was in that circle and Dennis was here, and they gave us the signal to start. Well, Bob started first, then the old man was still, well, I got him started, Bob took off and so did Dennis. And they flew around level, and it wasn't until the second maneuver that I noticed both airplanes were flying the exact same speed. They did the 3 loops together. They did the whole pattern together, and they quit at the same time at the end. Johnny Clemens came up and said, how did you do that?
Guys, in case you're wondering, I mean, a big trauma to me in my life was when I went through some personal tragedies. All my trophies got thrown out. And the ones that I treasured from the Nationals, and especially the first place one, I never had to look back on. Didn't even have a picture of the Walker Cup until I got to the Nats, I guess, in 91 or something. So somebody took a picture of me standing by it. You know, I knew my name was on it, but... so this is a great thing. I can't tell you how this makes me feel because it takes me back a long way. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here.
Please give a hand to Chip Smith and Ken Tizer.
That's the way we Guineas do. We kiss them.
There's one more windy thing here. Last year, you may know, I tried to put together an article for a national publication, and in it there were several pictures, quite a few that I'd taken. But alas, the editor of that publication decided that the photographs were not quite up to their standards. And I thought, well, that's too darn bad, but there's a bunch of memories in there that we'll have to get out someday. Nevertheless, I put the article in Stunt News a few months back, and I got a call and an email, and I thought, holy smoke, this world-famous individual wants a copy of my picture that wasn't published, except in Stunt News. So, Wendy, my dear friend, on this auspicious occasion, if you would, please come forward for an expression of my esteem for you and fellow Robert.
Recreation of my first crash is that? I don't want to read the card.
Come on, let's read the card first.
A dream can come true. Congratulations. It's never easy reaching for dreams, but those who never give up are life's greatest heroes. You have reason to be proud. Yes, Goldman.
Maybe to show everybody in a picture. This is one of those lucky moments that a few of us shows get to happen and don't know it.
Well, you never know when it's the end.
No, no, that's it.
Get it over with. Actually, it's the B-25 doing an outside loop, and I look like somebody just goosed me there. That part, stop it. Hold on. The reason I really treasured this picture, there's a funny story to it. When I built this plane, I did it with Dave Downey's help, and we worked on it together, actually for 2 years. The first year I brought it to Brodak, if everybody remembers, I didn't fly it, it wasn't flown yet. And, which I was very sad that I didn't get to fly it. And I said, I am going to fly this next year. I don't care what happens, we're going to fly this at Brodak. Well, we flew it, of course, and everybody got to see it. This year we wanted to fly the Sweeper, and we wanted to fly the new bomber, which is really too new to be flying in contests still, but we're going to give it a shot. And this picture, I just thought was a fabulous picture, and it's the loss of the people who don't appreciate quality. Anybody wants to see that picture, I'll leave it up here. I think it's fabulous.
Can I say one more thing, Wendy? Everybody here has signed this card, so you don't have to really give your shirt up if you don't want to.
Then I can buy more shirts.
But there have to be close to 300 signatures on it.
Wow.
So, and it's got your picture from last year. Mary Kelly, number is, I don't know.
Thank you. Brag, Ryan. That's great. Look at this cake. Wow. Thank you. Have a piece of cake, low carb. Thank you. There he goes, Winnie. There it goes. Oh. Get it now, Winnie. High five. Last repairs. That's number one pictures. My wingtip. My pilot's been vasectomed. There goes the rear gunner. There goes the wheel fan. Wait, why didn't you just cut the plane out? I'll freeze it. Yeah, that's unbelievable. That better be in your silly name. I think Karen gets the first. No, you get the first one.
Okay, my jump dog is ready to go for some more action.
Let's watch Wendy get me out again. Buy a piece of cake. Bye, it's a piece of cake. Oh, thank you. Works are over here, guys. Out again. Happy I'm going to do that, Kate. Thanks. Good. Yeah, congratulations. Oh, I didn't realize that had two. Want a peach ball? Was it a well-kept secret, by the way? You know how many times I wanted to tell you to buy my house and everything? I just wanted to see you. Yours was great. Nice to be back on the heart. No, go ahead. I just want to say away from my kids. Bernie's grabbing my... I got the other one. I got the other one. You don't have to write 69 nights, Jim.
I did that this morning, right after I finished the chicken.
She's old. I didn't know they could eat big cars. Buy one cake? Congratulations. I'll have my you for all the help. Yeah, you with me. Low
Yeah, right.
Got it. Let's see, where you gotta feel it. You'll feel it in your stomach, that sugar will go right there. Let me tell you something, there's only one person I didn't thank, and I'm sorry that he I know who it is. You don't know him. He said, I'm serious about that. You really did. Remember, we had a few conversations a while back, and I think you were good at it.
Jack, currently in first place. His second official on Sunday. So maybe a little bit of this footage, it's hodgepodge back and forth because we had to marry up the footage from Bernie Trent, Ken Kaiser, and myself. So, but we really do want to get as many flights as we can, and especially the people we really don't get to see every day. We only get to see Danny maybe 8-10 times a year. And he's a special guy in our book. Currently leading the contest. Miss Susie Q. Well, we're going to take a little bit of time out of our program. We want to try to dial in the 826 so we don't get an overrun, which we had on our first flight, unfortunately. But hey, we wanted to fly it at Brodak. See, that's the thing that's different about this contest than everywhere else. People want to put on demos, they want to have new things, exciting things. Things you just don't see. It's just not about a numbers game. Danny's got to change his spot here. I think he found look at his action. What is this? Danny, these guys are too old to run. You don't run out of fuel. Hope he doesn't run out of fuel after all this action. He's on the winning flight here. Sometimes you're better off just flying in the wrong spot. And it is just the gentlest of breezes. You can see there's no breeze. Beautiful air, a little cool. Just a great day to be at Brodak's. And we started off this week with a little bit of rain, went through some tentative periods, but as always, we always seem to, in the end, luck out with the weather.
some fuel out. How cool does this get? You're flying along on your official flight. Whoa! I got that on the video. Larry does a wig over and hits the wheel of the Steelman. Look at this. How cool is this? Oh man, Danny, it does not get better than this. Deep reality, give me Brodak. That's actually Zambelli's engine. We're tape recording this for his 4-stroke, the big bike. Very good, it's on video. There's something special about this whole event. They're on a banana break. Judges need a banana every so many flights.
Yeah, here, and you hold up the banana, you get them to salivate, then you hold it in front of them, and best is to put the banana on the string, see?
Right, and put it on their hat so they walk.
Fishing pole.
Yeah, you get a long brim hat with a banana hanging down, so you always want
That incredible Fokker triplane was up there?
Yeah.
Just got totaled.
Oh yeah, we were there. We saw it go in.
You were there?
Did you see the hole? They made a hole in the asphalt.
Not the paper.
Not the flying Venetian blind. The red one.
The scale one.
No kidding.
What did he do, on a wing over or something? Oh man.
How does an upline break? Remember this thing called a pull test?
Yeah, well, Alex isn't responsible for pull testing these planes.
No.
I'm not pull testing the scale guys. They're on their own. Yeah, they live by a different set of rules, I think.
Is that, which scale was that? That's called split scale? Or?
No, that's
Now it's called stick scale.
That was not
not scale now.
split scale. The last flight was a Cub.
Whatever, you ready? Okay.
All right, Alex.
Whatever, wherever you feel comfortable. That's good.
Have a lot of bicycles.
How's that? Pretty good? Bob Zambelli, needless to say, has helped me, along with many other people, make parts and little machine shop jobs and rivets and nuts and wheel collars and everything for my bomber projects. If you ever want to see a very interesting video, we did a day at Bobby's shop in Newhouse, and his barn actually, where he's restoring cars.
had up till recently the Red Baron, the remains of the Red Baron. His engine collection exceeds 1,000, has a special dedicated Spitfire bedroom kind of room just for his engine collection. Of course has a Piper, I think Cherokee or Warrior, whatever that model that he has, and we've flown in it many times, full-size plane. And a very nicely restored by him, in fact, Ferrari. That is just about as mint and clean as a whistle. And a driver. It's not a chauffeur, it's a driver. He comes to a lot of our contests in his Ferrari. And of course, he's been working with John on several things. Helped me out immensely with both of the Bono projects, and I assume he'll be pressed into service on the Tiger Cat program very soon. Windy Grumman Aviation. Tiger Cat, as you probably know, is the last of the crop-driven cats from Grumman Aviation, which is out on Long Island. Actually, it's near Jimmy's Arroyo, right near where my grandmother used to live. The Grumman Cats. The Wildcat, the Hellcat, the Tiger Cat, the Bearcat. They used to say you could take those radial engines and shoot 2 or 3 cylinders right off of them and they'd get you home. It'd still run. Bob's a little short on fuel. Yeah. May not be a great idea doing this, Bob. No. Woo! Good call! All right, Bobby! Woo! Well, Bob's an amazing guy. Windy's second flight on the A-26. The weather has just turned out beautiful. sure if Kent got any of the bomber flight, but Kent was shooting some video. Kent's got the last flight of the day, so I've whizzled downwind. I've been coaching Kent and helping him, working with him, and sharing a very good friendship with him and his lady friend Shelley, who I think is going to be a permanent part of our group from this point on. Certainly looks that way. I wanted to get a couple of minutes of Mike Chioda. We didn't have this plane on video yet. Mike and Don Herdman are building copies of this. It's Vic Macaluso's Tomcat, I believe. And it's an excellent flying plane, very unique. I think he's done with the pattern, though. That's the problem. But anyway, it's this time of, I want to try to pan the field here. It's this time of day. They're about done with the scale events, and we heard that the triplane had crashed. The big red triplane. And it's sad to see Jim Sumner crash because we give him such a hard time that we really don't want to obviously see him crash. There's still some flights going on here, but then there's going to be, and we're going to put it on a separate tape, the awards presentation. And then there's usually the fun fly, mass fly. Everybody flies everybody else's plane, part of this event. It consumes about a half a day. It really, a lot of people have to get on the road early, but a lot of people, myself included, I don't mind driving all evening or all night because I just love stretching this out and then starting to count the days off until we're back here again next year. It is the high point for me of my whole year, and of course having the Hall of Fame, having a good flight on the bomber. You know, we had one good one and one bad one. I did get to demonstrate the bomber, and we look forward to flying it in the rest of our local contests and various things around the year. Mike Chioda, one of our good friends. Let's see if we can get his landing. Kent Kaiser has the last flight of the event. And then we're going to, like I said, enter that good part of the event where we typically have the most fun of all. We're going to do some photo shoots. And of course we have to load the van. But boy, it kills you to have to leave here. Hey, Mikey! Hey! Kent Kaiser and Shelley, who is very, very good at launching his plane. Very supportive of his involvement. And we have actually adopted her into our family, the family of control line stunt flyers. It doesn't take much to get into our family. You just gotta love model planes and love the people in it. And if you know Kent as much as I do, I can tell you one thing. He has the passion. He has the love of modeling. That 7-year-old boy is just inside of him dying to get out every time we get to the field. Kent Kaiser, winner of last year's Advanced at the Nats under the worst conditions you can imagine. And just a super guy. You need a set of lines. See Kent Kaiser. He hand wraps, pull tests, and puts them on reels. Does custom lines any length, any size you want. Wyman Strager, he has 3 of these. White one, a red one, and this one. This one has a Rojet 65. The big windy pipe. Very felt prop, I believe. We've been playing with the felt props, and they're excellent. Suggest anybody that has a Rojet or a PA or a pipe engine, check it out. And I believe, but I'm not sure, that those props were developed from prop molds that Billy Woolridge originally had or made, and Bob McDonald. Let's try to give them the credit they're due. Billy, probably the best in the world at carving props. And Billy Phelps certainly doing a good job of molding them. We're happy as can be with our Miss Ashley props. We actually have a set of those 2 blades for the bomber, but I don't like the way the 3 blades look. To be honest, when you do a project like the bomber, the appearance is so much, you kind of have to trade that away. That doesn't mean that under some conditions we might have to revert to them. I really would like to get 3 blades just for the appearance, really. our weekend very enjoyable, a whole week. We've been here since Wednesday, sat through some rain, sat through some crappy air, but most of it's been really excellent. And if there's one single person I have to thank, it's Big Art, two people, Big Art and Betty Adamison, for making a long trip from Michigan down just to be with me on that Hall of Fame evening, a special evening of my life. And as you can imagine, Art has always played, been one of my special role models. I've looked up to him basically forever. Other people that I probably forgot to but should have thanked in the speech that I made, a little impromptu speech. Harold Price played a giant part in my life. John DeCasio. People that when I was a kid without a father, and they just were there when I needed them. They were always there ready to help, always there ready to give you some of their old equipment that they were done with. Or just encourage you when you had a bad day and things weren't working, and you can't thank them enough. Some of the people I truly think have just made this the event it really is. The late Joe Ortiz, another great person. His wife Peggy, we many times put that Tampa newsletter together with staplers and by hand, and we worked till after midnight on it. And as funky as those newsletters were, they kept the Tampa together for many years, 4 or 5 years, maybe more, in the 80s when nobody else wanted to do the job. There was one other person that I really feel bad about not mentioning it in that speech, was Tom Morris. Tom Morris has been a very positive influence on my life in ways that you can't really put in perspective until you see how good they've worked. He's given me some guidance on a personal level that I think has helped me be the person I am, and may help me be the person I'll someday be. At some future time that I'll be able to help other people and put something back into the kitty. Anyway, it's been an emotional time for me, an emotional time for my wife and a lot of my close friends. I hope they've all got to sign that t-shirt by now. So I want to retire that to the Spitfire bedroom along with those great models that Ron made. B-25, A-26, Spitfires, C-Fires, Mark 5s. Ron, you're one special guy. Ron drove all the way just to deliver those models. 4 or 5 hours with his wife, who Karen knows, several of the Brodaks, they've hung out together. And I didn't know that, but we know it now. And this actually is the last flight of the competition here. And now the fun begins. Usually we do have a lot of fun. I don't plan to record too much of it, but there's going to be a lot of fun flying going on. Look at the trees, kids. Look at this. To be here and to have this weather, the only definition I know of, look at the clouds in the sky. This is the definition of being in heaven, stunt heaven, and to be with all your friends. And of course a special thanks, more than ever, to John and Buzz Brodak. I know Buzz put a lot of love into this event. Hey, Tyson! Whoa! Yeah, we're going to line up and do a couple of photo shoots before the fun fly starts here. And here you basically have 25 years of my life. 1980, 1979, 2004. Now believe me, if back then I could have looked into some crystal ball and seen the bomber program, that I have enjoyed more than anything you can ever imagine is just having these things. And whatever you say about them, good or bad, they have captivated me and made me passionate about modeling. And of course, fabulous. Pete Klepsik's fabulous. I wish I was up there to record his official flights. He had some issues. He's going to have it resolved, though. But that's the fun of having twin-engine planes, is the issues. Things that make you crazy, there they are.
That's mid-engine, right?
Yeah, mid-engine. Turbo intercooled.
You had about 14 inches.
So that's what I did. Everybody likes to do it. At this point, line up some of the planes, get some photo shoots. And I really have to apologize if I've missed anybody. I've missed anybody's flights, or today I can figure a way of employing some people. Maybe I can assure that we'll get everything, but we really try to get as much of the action as we can. And most of all, the flavor of just being here.
Too much air conditioning. My first camera was there. No, I could never. I have this photograph board here. I said, here, get this pen. Draw that one. I said, I messed it up. I said, wait a minute. I'll wipe it up and draw it. Here's a little thing. And in 15 minutes, they got these.
And I'm sure years from now, people will all look back at today and say, wow, that was some life we had. Some life we were able to share and enjoy.
I mean, I had a few Sigmas. No, this is the 10D. I want to get the Rebel. Yeah, which is the one, just like, it's kind of like this, only just under this, right? Yeah. Because this is $2,000 or something for bottom. No, like I said before, you can't be body. Now, this is what's the difference in between that and like this before. Right on. The change from total build-up. I'll take Windy 4
And smaller. Join the party.
He wants to be there with 3 ladies. I wish I had one picture left in my camera.
You can buy the videos. God forbid you should buy the videos. We'll give you a special discount.
Get the videos.
You go give my wife $100.
Is that all?
Well, the Brodak fly-in is now in the record books. We're going to do the trophy presentation, and in the back you can see the fun flying each other's planes already. Right after the trophy presentation, Paul Winter is going to show us how his take-apart model comes apart. Something everybody enjoys watching. Right now we have the Philly Flyer. I don't know what we should call it, the Philly Flyer Shuffle. We have 2 of them up in the air at the same time. Let's see, who's got the better of the 2? Looks like he's got a little of, who's this? Talco's Rich? Talco's is Rich. And of course they have the string thing going on so they can saber dancing. Always a crowd pleaser. I don't know if they're still going to fly the sweeper now later or the big biplane, but we're going to hang out. It's just too much fun to go home early. And I don't mind driving through the night for a day like this. got it saber dancing pretty good. Oh, look at this, they're right together. These are the models that Ron Keefe made, and I would certainly treasure them. Yet if you look at how detailed these are, they actually have my AMA number on the tail. They have the full Tuskegee and paint job, a lot of weathering and different aluminum effects. The exhaust, the scale exhaust. See the end thing? I didn't paint the cowlings like this with the inner part, probably that scale. Now, of course, he also has made me an A26 with the Vietnam era paint job. Maybe this is the Korea paint job, I don't know. Totally detailed interior, nose art, Bombay doors open, detail in the wheel wells. Absolutely beautiful. Ron Keefe. And these will be added to my collection in my Spitfire bedroom. And we will, as I have been known to say from time to time, we will treasure them always. Now this is what they do at Brodak's each year. They take the trophies, take your picture with your winning model, and then of course put it inside the trophy. Then they're winding down the fun flies in the demos. I think Jimmy Borelli's out there still flying the fun fly. They were flying each other's planes for about the last hour or so. And they're getting ready to give out the awards. And of course all the awards have your picture on them. See how some of the trophies are. A band? And Alan Brickhouse and Tom Hampshire put another great meet in the bank, literally in the bank. And we're just waiting for some of the other people to come together. And we're going to, as always, record the presentation of the trophies.
Before we start, I'd like to begin the proceedings with a bang. Is Jack King here? Jack, do I see you anywhere? Or his spouse? Not here. Jack King, is he, you think he's up top? Okay.
Jack King's in the parking lot. You want me to get him?
Is he? Yeah, if you'd have him come up, we have a special treat for him. Just tell him that much. No, okay, Foxford.
Pilot and the
Okay. Foxford first. Third, pardon me. Bernie Trent and Randy Duncan. Who'd they get to? Don't see him. Anybody from their home club or area? Bernie Trent, Randy Duncan. Set it aside. Second is John Paris, Wes Aiken.
All right.
Wes is here. I don't see John yet, but he's here. Where he is. John at least doesn't have a name like Bill Little, and you look at the guy and you figure, where did they get that? He at least doesn't have a name that says he's small. First place is the Knights. It's getting dark. Night is coming.
Back to the house.
Third place clown, John Pasolak, Mike Chota. From Long Island.
Are they not here?
I don't see them. Here's Neil, though. I think he can make a delivery to Long Island from Queens. That'll work.
Thank you for delivering, sir.
Second place clown, Dan Badjock, who we all know, and a man who has come to the fore in this contest as a prize lieutenant on Her Majesty's Secret Service. If you need a dirty mission done innocuously, Mike Palco. Lieutenant Palco, please come up. Lieutenant Palco maintains security. He would appear. Well, he will only appear incognito.
Thank you. Yep. Clown, first place.
First place clown, John and Christina Saunders. Speed limit combat. Third was Neil Simpson. I can only assume he picked up and headed for Massachusetts. He's got a long way to go. Second is Roy Glenn.
He might take Roy Glenn.
Okay. No, Tom Skinner is first, right here. He just collected all the trophies, that's all. He beat all those guys. Why should we have them all? Ladies only. Ladies only. Third place is Cheryl McLean. Cheryl McLean's cheesy excuses, she's taking a nap. And the exertions of her mission. Welcome. Second place, the sweetheart of our contest, Miss Olivia
Yay. And the first, a new face, but we're going to see her again, I fear, Rachel Waters. Rachel?
Bobby, you're on thin ice there. I can't catch you.
Hey, Rachel.
Junkyard Wars. Third is the Flying Lunatics. Could be just about anybody. But it's the Saunders, okay. Second, the Courtney High Flyers. Here's Alex. And it's dead. They're behind you.
Yes? Jesse left.
Drew, you want to get this?
It's a lot of...
Look over here.
And then look over here.
Thank you.
First place Junkyard, Team Absurd. No.
Here on this side, guys.
Something unusual happened in Junkyard Wars, but boy, is that a surprise. We had a tie for first place, and since everybody had gone home, we had to flip a coin. So we had a tie for first place between Team Absurd and the Courtney High Flyers. And if that team could come back out here for a second.
Sorry we missed a few. We did have a battery go dead in the First is Mike Costello, which I'll take home and give to him. That's easy enough. Profile carrier.
I got to ride the helicopter, but I don't remember.
Let's go to old time
Okay, going to OTS. Intermediate. Third, Nelson Herbs. Nelson? There he is. Second is Watt Moore. But Watt could carry it without Miss Olivia to help. Well, that's the end of the presentation. The list for you. Thanks. And first at OTS Intermediate was Dave Courtney. Dave? Make that tough to meet again. OTS Advanced, third was Dick Rosie. Dick is here. He did not yet leave for home. Second OTS Advanced, Roy Trantham, front and center, sir.
OTS advanced first, Dave Johnson. Dave, I didn't see him. Nope. Okay.
Dave's not here, man. Dave's not here.
OTS second place is Tommy Looper. Huh?
Hey, Tommy!
First, I think by 2 points, but it was a good horse race. Was that the spread, John? Good.
Look at John grinning. 323-18. Good job, Tommy.
No, good horse race. Finished by one by a nose, John Saunders. Profile stunt beginner Paul LeBlanc, third. Is he here?
He took it already.
He took it? Okay. Second was Alan Buck. He's here. First was Ron King. Sandy, if you're out there, there's 2 sets of carrier awards that we don't have. We don't have 1 and 2 and profile. See if they can be,
They took them out. They took them.
they all left. Everybody took them? Fair enough, John. Okay.
Thank you. Intermediate profile.
Intermediate profile, third place was Mike Schmidt. The striped twister. Okay, Alan's going to take this home. Second, Harrisburg, Ken Ornish. And first, the Hams again. You guys are going to give the Philly guys a run. Ryan Naw. Profile advanced. Third was Phil Spillman. Another hand. Another hand. But are you suggesting that he's a member of your club, or do you mean something else? A charter ham, eh? Second is John Paris. Watch the overcast. There he comes. Yeah. First in advance was Wes Aiken. Wes, he's right there. Expert profile, third was Clayton Berry. He's here.
Not a member of that.
Second was Dale Barry. He left? Okay. That's too bad. First was Graham Banjock. Where is he? Forget stunt flying. Anybody that hasn't heard, Dan on Tuesday evening lost an ornithopter in a thermal.
True story. How many people do you know who have thermal and ornithopter out of Brodak's? ARF beginner third was Bernie Trent.
Bernie's gone home. Somebody from Maryland, Baltimore?
Baltimore, Maryland, anybody?
I'll give it to him. I'm going to send them tapes. I'll just throw it in the box. By the way, anybody doesn't know, Bernie shot about a third of this video, so if it stinks, he shot it. If it's good, I shot it. That's for you, Bernie.
Second seed lottery. Here he comes. First Henry Warner. NVCL again. They don't talk much, but they come up here a lot. I don't know. Intermediate off, Ryan Noah third. Ryan? Another hand. Joel Costantino? Is he here? Here he is.
Hey, Joe!
First, Doug Benedetti. He's here. Here he is.
Hey, Buddy!
Okay, ARF advanced. Third place, Dr. Pete. Dr. Moscow. Here he comes. Pete set a record this year. He attended the entire contest, only had to attend a one minor boo-boo. Pretty good year, eh, Pete? Second was Phil Spellman. I get hands again. First was James Cole. Where is he? Yeah, give it to Dick. That's fine. Or Scott, whoever. Now, ARF expert. Heartbreaking announcement. All three first places were taken by the Brodak Cardinal. So it breaks my heart to have to tell you all that Tower Hobbies got swept. So come with me. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And by the way, George Aldrich is pissed. He's not entertained by this at all.
Third place, Bob Z.
Bravo!
When you break open the box on your first Brodak ARF, you're going to find out that the development work that you have to do to the Nobler is already done. That's all Bob's work. Remember that when you open the box. Second was John Saunders.
Great job!
First was Gary Peltz. I think Jerry will pick up for him. I think he talked about it. I thought he left, but I wasn't sure.
There'll be a sale on rubber bands here soon.
Okay, front scale third, John Vilna. They must have gotten unhooked somehow.
Come on, John!
Scale, I don't know. Second, Dan Banjo.
Daddy!
And first, Tom McLean. He went to wake up his wife. Yeah, I know.
And that looks like Cheryl.
Thank you.